time. It's kind of the game about adaptation.
Yeah.
The most adaptive wins. It's like a natural selection, but
Survival of the fittest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing, like imagine like us, like adopting the whole remote work very easily.
Mm.
But some other people can't adopt remote work very easily. And I'm actually I mean, I want to also acknowledge the people who are just losing their job and they can't do the remote thing because their systems are just not that, or like the craft of what they do is not adapted for like a laptop. What if they're like a baker or
Yeah.
like a cook, right, or chief at the restaurant, and then the restaurant is closed and now you're a chief. And chiefs are actually like master chief or whatever you call them, like they actually earn really good money or whatever. But then without a restaurant, what are you gonna do now? So people like that are high skilled but they're not in the digital world.
Yeah.
The main problem is what do we do with them?
Again, there's always something you can do. I lost my livelihood too, like when this happened. But hey, I made the most of it and I'm doing decent.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, again, like things are gonna happen, but there's always something you can do about it. Are you just gonna say, oh, life is unfair, why
Mm-hmm.
this happened to me? Or you can take action. If you take action, there's always a way out.
Right. Here's the point. Your argument is very ideological. It's like meaning like you have to rethink how you do, right? But what if you have like it's the point I'm making is not just a particular person who is just like needs to be adaptive, but I'm talking about like the whole layer of the population who are very high skilled in something, and they're not like us, who are don't have wives and don't have kids or
Yeah.
whatever. They actually are having like families and obligations, and they have mortgage to pay, and all of that shit is expensive anyway. So like they like I agree with you, they need to do what you just said they need to do, but I think for them it's just harder for them to kind of imagine like starting this. I mean, it's for overall, like some of them will succeed but some of them will fail.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with people who will fail? How do we bring them up?
Yeah.
And I actually thought about that as well. As I think the idea that is, which by the way I didn't support at the beginning, but now I'm not saying that I'm supporting it, but the idea of the universal basic income, I don't know. It kind of seems like people are getting closer to it a little bit because everyone is already kind of getting it in America and the Canada. Like this is the whole
Yeah.
COVID thing.
And once you give people a taste of something like this, it's hard
Exactly. So they
to.
already have like, oh, like there is an infrastructure for it. You can actually receive money into your bank
But
account.
then, if with universal basic income, what's the incentive to work? Because
Hmm.
in $2,000, if say you own your own place, you're
Hmm.
not paying rent. It's enough to get by. It's more than enough.
Exactly. But here's, I guess, then the question is why there should be an incentive to work. See?
Mm.
So that's the point. When we're going all back to the experiences, maybe they can just live happily. And
Yes.
Elon Musk just tweeted that as well about universal basic income. He was like, he's in support of it. And again, I'm not saying that I'm in support of it, but I see the argument. I can see like, yeah, there's something in it. Like you don't have to freaking slave yourself in some sort of a fast food chain job and get the minimal wage
Yeah.
for what, when you can just when the government can afford to do that for you, and you can then focus on something. I don't know, start a podcast or start something creative or try to invent something, or
Yeah.
I don't know, like I see that argument too.
Your mind, yeah, that's, you have a fantastic point, because once you're not thinking about the menial things like, oh, going from 9 to 5 or working in McDonald's, or like just getting yourself just surviving,
Hmm.
your mind just becomes so open. You'll start thinking about all those creative things that you can do to help the society or to help yourself or whatever.
Hmm.
And we'll see a major increase in inventions, or something like that, which we've lost now, because
Hmm.
everyone just trying so hard to survive in this world, just get get food on the table with the rent prices where they are, and everything.
Hmm.
If if you do have income, like someone's taking care of you, like I'm very grateful to Canada. They've taken care of everyone so well.
Yeah.
If someone's taking care of you, you're not thinking about where to get food. You're thinking about, okay, how can I, what everyone has some skill.
Hmm.
Everyone has a skill which they don't use or can't use because their mind is busy on basic things.
Hmm.
Once that's taken care of, I think you'll see a explosion of ideas and all those
Exactly.
things happening.
Exactly. And I mean, it's just crazy, right? That people still have to work so much just so they can have roof over their head,
Yeah.
just so that they can afford the rent,
Yeah.
and they have to put in like half of their payments or something. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird idea. I mean, and it's not like it's been around for a while, but now I feel like
Mm.
in the 2020, especially in Canada, United States, and Europe, thinking about that, that's like a little, yeah, I don't know. We can maybe
It's
fix
hard
that.
for the states to do it because it's just so many people.
Yeah,
Canada
and they have,
still can, yeah.
yeah.
Canada can do it. Northern Europe can do it. United
Mm.
States is just very
I don't
difficult.
think it's the people with the United States. It's the states itself, the 50
Mm.
states, the
Mm.
50 countries within the country.
Mm.
Because we think the United States is a country, but no, it's actually, it is what it is. A state is a country. The
Yeah.
translation is weird, but it's 50. It's the United Countries of America. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And all of them have like their different leaders, and all of them has right wing, left wing, Democrats and Republicans. They fight between each other, and the states fight between themselves and the Congress and all that. So it's
Yeah.
like it's politically, it's very sad, by the way, for the United States. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the system is broken in the states,
Hmm.
where there's such a big, massive difference between the people who are doing well and the people who are not.
Hmm.
At least in Canada, as I said, the floor is very high.
Hmm.
I mean, even if you're not doing well, you can have enough money to survive and get by and not be
Hmm.
homeless. But the ceiling is also not very high in Canada
Hmm.
because there's a cap on where you can get, of the tax system and everything. In the
Hmm.
States,
Hmm.
this the floor is not there. You can just,
Yeah, yeah, and I hope they will figure this out at some
yeah.
point. But I don't see it being figured out anywhere soon. Like within the next 5 to 10 years, I don't see it. Think someone will
Mm,
figure this out.
yeah.
It really will take something major to do. Probably the aliens that are about to invade us.
The aliens.